Most people think money problems come from not earning enough. But that's the illusion. The real control center of your financial life is not your salary, not your job, not even your opportunities, is your psychology. Think about it. Two people can earn the same income, live in the same city, have the same opportunities, and yet one builds wealth while the other stays stuck in a cycle of debt and stress. The difference is not math. It is emotion, fear, ego, impulse, comparison, and sometimes even childhood memories that silently shape every decision. There's a story of a man who grew up watching his father struggle with money every single month. Bills on the table, stress in the air, arguments late at night. As he grew older and started earning well, he promised himself one thing: I will never feel poor again. But that promise didn't make him wealthy. It made him emotional with money. He spent fast, upgraded everything too early, bought things not because he needed them, but because they made him feel safe. And ironically, the fear of being poor kept him trapped in financial instability. This is the psychology of money, not spreadsheets, but survival instincts disguised as decisions. When you understand this, you realize most financial choices are not logical. They are emotional reactions wearing the mask of logic. Before we go deeper, if this perspective is making sense to you, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and comment where you think your own money decisions come from, emotion or logic. It helps you reflect more deeply on your own patterns. Because here is the uncomfortable truth. You don't rise to the level of your income, you fall to the level of your financial behavior under pressure. When stress hits, when temptation appears, when comparison shows up on social media, that's when your real money personality is revealed. And once you start observing it, you can't unsee it. The emotional triggers, the impulse buys, the I deserve this moments, the fear-based saving, the silent anxiety behind spending. So the real journey is not just about making more money. It is about becoming aware of the invisible emotional system that is already controlling it. And once you see that clearly, everything changes, because now you're no longer just earning money. You are understanding it. You are not born with your current financial mindset. You inherited it, absorbed it, picked it up silently from the environment you grew up in, like language your brain learned without asking permission. Think about a child growing up in a home where money is always discussed with tension. Every bill feels like a crisis. Every expense feels like a mistake. In that environment, money is not neutral. It becomes emotional, heavy, even slightly dangerous. That child doesn't just learn numbers, they learn fear. Now fast forward 20 years. That same child becomes an adult earning a stable income. On paper, everything looks fine, but inside, something different is running the show. Every time they spend, there is hesitation. Every time they save, there is anxiety. They are not reacting to their current reality. They are reacting to their past. This is how financial patterns are formed, not through textbooks, but through repetition of emotional experiences. A parent saying, "We can't afford this," doesn't just teach budgeting, it teaches limitation. A home where money is freely discussed teaches possibility. The difference seems small in childhood, but becomes massive in adulthood. There is a story of a woman who grew up watching her mother hide money in different places around the house because she didn't trust banks. As an adult, she had a good job, stable income, and access to modern financial tools. Yet she still felt uneasy keeping money in one account. She would constantly move it around, split it just in case. Logically, she knew it made no sense. Emotionally, she felt unsafe otherwise. That is the power of inherited belief systems. They don't ask for permission. They operate quietly in the background, shaping your reactions before your conscious mind even speaks. If you're realizing right now that some of your financial habits might not even be yours, but borrowed from your past, take a moment and like this video and subscribe, because what we're building here is not just financial awareness, but financial self-awareness. You need to remember, you are not stuck with your financial mindset. You are repeating it, and anything you are repeating, you can interrupt. The first step is not change. The first step is recognition. Because once you see where your beliefs came from, you finally have the option to choose where they go next. There is a quiet truth most people don't want to accept. Income does not fix financial instability. It only amplifies who you already are with money. If someone is undisciplined with a small income, a larger income will not save them. It will simply make their mistakes more expensive. Lifestyle inflation, impulsive spending, emotional purchases, these don't disappear with more money. They grow. Think of discipline like the foundation of a building. Income is the height you try to build upward. But no matter how tall you want to go, if the foundation is weak, the structure becomes unstable. At some point, pressure exposes it. There is a story of a young professional who went from modest salary to a high-paying job within 2 years. At first, he felt like he had finally made it. New phone, new car, better apartment, weekend trips that used to feel out of reach. But something strange happened. Despite earning almost 3 times more, he felt just as broke as before. The reason was simple. Every increase in income came with a proportional increase in spending. The gap between earning and saving never actually grew. It just moved at a higher level of consumption. On paper, success. In reality, the same cycle. Discipline is what creates the gap between income and lifestyle. That gap is where wealth is born. Without it, money flows in and flows out without leaving anything behind. And discipline is not motivation. Motivation is emotional and temporary. Discipline is structural. It is built through systems, habits, and boundaries that you follow even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Before we continue, if this idea is making you reflect on your own spending patterns, take a second to like this video and subscribe. And comment honestly. Do you think your biggest financial challenge is earning more or controlling what you already earn? Most people don't have an income problem. They have a discipline leak. And leaks don't matter when the flow is small. They become critical when the flow increases. This is why many people feel financially stuck even after getting promotions. They didn't fix the system. They only changed the number. Real financial growth begins when discipline stops, depending on income size, and starts operating independently of it. Most people think the answer to financial struggle is simple: make more money. But the reality is, income without strategy is just effort without direction. It keeps you busy, not wealthy. There's a difference between working for money and designing a system where money works for you. One is reactive. The other is intentional. And this difference quietly separates people who stay financially stressed from those who build long-term stability. Think about a man working 2 jobs. He is disciplined, hardworking, constantly exhausted. His income increases, but so do his expenses. He feels like he is running faster on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. No matter how much effort he puts in, he never seems to escape the cycle. Now, compare that to someone earning less but thinking strategically. They focus on skills that compound. They learn how to position themselves in higher value markets. They don't just chase income, they build leverage. Over time, their financial situation shifts not because they worked harder, but because they worked differently. There's a powerful shift that happens when you stop asking, "How can I earn more this month?" and start asking, "What skill or decision will change my income trajectory for the next 5 years?" That is the difference between short-term effort and long-term strategy. A real-world example is someone who starts with basic communication skills and slowly moves into high-value problem-solving roles: sales, negotiation, consulting, or digital skills that scale beyond time. At first, progress feels slow, but then something changes. Their value in a market increases without increasing their working hours. That is strategic income growth. If this way of thinking is starting to change how you see money, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and comment what skill you think could change your financial future the most. It helps reinforce this shift from survival thinking to strategic thinking. You need to hold on to. Income is not just earned. It is engineered. If you're not designing it, you're depending on it. The moment you start thinking strategically, you stop chasing every opportunity and start building the right ones. You stop trading time for money blindly and start positioning yourself where money naturally flows toward your value. Because real financial growth is not about doing more. It is about doing what compounds. Most people don't realize this, but financial growth is no longer just about hard work. It is about relevance. And relevance in today's world comes from skills, specifically high-income skills that the market is willing to pay a premium for. The uncomfortable truth is this: two people can work the same number of hours, even in the same industry, and still end up with completely different financial outcomes. The difference is not effort, it is skill leverage. There is a story of a man who spent years working in a routine administrative job. He was reliable, consistent, always present, but his income barely moved. One day, he started learning a simple digital skill, copywriting. At first, it felt small, just writing words on a screen. No immediate transformation. But within months, something shifted. He started understanding how businesses think, how they sell, how attention turns into revenue. Slowly, he stopped trading time for fixed pay and started getting paid for results. His income didn't just increase, it multiplied. Not because he worked more hours, but because he shifted it into a skill that directly created value. This is the hidden pattern behind financial growth today. High-income skills are not about complexity. They are about leverage. Skills like communication, sales, marketing, problem-solving, digital creation, and decision-making are not just job skills. They are income multipliers. But here's where most people get stuck. They keep learning random things instead of focused, compounding skills. They consume information without applying it. And as a result, they stay in the same financial bracket while feeling busy all the time. If this is starting to make sense, take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and comment which skill you feel is most valuable in today's world. It will help you reflect on where your own focus is going. Your income is not limited by opportunity. It is limited by skill visibility. The market only pays what it can clearly see you solve. And the people who win financially are not always the smartest or hardest working. They're the ones who learn skills that directly connect to value creation. They stop asking, "What job can I get?" and start asking, "What problem can I solve better than most people?" That shift alone changes everything. Most people underestimate how powerful delayed gratification is because it doesn't feel rewarding in the moment. It feels like denial, like you're holding yourself back while everyone else is enjoying life. But in reality, it is one of the strongest financial advantages you can build. Think about two people earning the same income. One spends immediately, new gadgets, eating out, upgrades, lifestyle improvements every time money increases. The other pauses, not because they don't want those things, but because they understand timing. They delay pleasure to build capacity first. At first, the second person looks like they are missing out. They drive the same old car, with the same kind of clothes, don't chase every upgrade. But something invisible is happening in the background. Their money is not being consumed. It is being stored, directed, and multiplied. There is a story of a young employee who resisted upgrading his lifestyle for 3 years after getting his first good salary. Friends questioned him, "Why are you still living like this?" But instead of increasing expenses, he increased savings and invested in learning and small opportunities. By the end of those 3 years, while others were still adjusting to new bills and EMIs, he had already built enough capital to start a side business. That business eventually replaced his salary entirely. Delayed gratification is not about saying no to life. It is about saying not yet. And that one word changes everything. Because wealth is not built in moments of excitement. It is built in moments of restraint. The ability to resist short-term comfort for long-term freedom is what separates financial stability from financial struggle. The problem is modern life is designed to remove waiting. Everything is instant: food, entertainment, shopping, even validation. So training your mind to delay gratification becomes harder, but also more valuable. If this is resonating with you, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and comment what is the hardest thing for you to delay in your financial life. Awareness is the first step toward control. Every time you delay gratification, you are not losing something. You are buying freedom at a discount. And the more you practice it, the less power impulse has over you, and the more power strategy gains in your financial life. Most people think wealth is built by earning more. But in reality, Wealth is built by what you keep, not what you make. And what you keep is controlled by one invisible system in your life, your money system. Without a system, money behaves like water in your hands. It flows in, stays for a moment, and then disappears in different directions: bills, spending, impulse decisions, emotional purchases. You don't even realize where it went. You just feel it's gone. But when you introduce a system, everything changes. Money stops being emotional and starts being structured. It gets assigned purpose before it ever gets a chance to disappear. There's a story of a freelancer who used to earn a regular income. Some months were great, others were stressful. Even when he earned well, he always felt unstable. The problem wasn't income, it was lack of structure. One month he decided to divide his money into simple categories the moment it arrived: survival, growth, investment, and savings. Nothing fancy, just clarity. Within a few months, something shifted. Even on lower income months, he stopped feeling lost. Because every rupee had a direction. He wasn't reacting anymore, he was operating. That is what a personal money system does. It removes decision fatigue. It removes emotional spending. It replaces chaos with structure. And here is the key insight most people miss. Discipline alone is not enough. Willpower breaks under pressure. Systems don't. That is why wealthy people don't rely on motivation to manage money. They rely on structure. If this is making you rethink how you handle your income, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and comment whether you currently track your money or it just disappears each month. That awareness matters more than perfection. You don't rise financially by earning more. You rise by controlling what happens after you earn. And the moment your money has a system, your financial life stops being unpredictable and starts becoming intentional. Most people think increasing income is about working harder, doing more jobs, or adding extra hours. But real income growth doesn't come from effort alone. It comes from direction, and direction comes from strategy. There's a point in life where working more stops working. You can only add so many hours in a day. You can only stretch your energy so far. And when that limit is reached, the only way forward is not more effort. It is smarter positioning. Think about two people in the same industry. One keeps saying yes to everything: small gigs, low-value tasks, anything that brings immediate money. The other is selective. They focus on opportunities that build reputation, skill, and leverage. At first, the first person earns faster. But over time, the second person's income starts pulling ahead. Not because they worked more, but because they worked on the right things. There's a story of a designer who spent years taking cheap freelance projects just to stay busy. He was always working, always earning something, but never moving forward. One day, he decided to stop chasing quantity and started focusing on quality clients. Businesses that value design as a growth tool, not just decoration. Slowly, his rates increased. Then his demand increased. Eventually, he was working fewer hours but earning many times more. That shift is the essence of strategic income growth. It is not about adding more work. It is about upgrading the type of work you accept and the value you create. Strategy also means understanding leverage. Leverage can be skills, platforms, audience, systems, or even relationships. When you combine skill with leverage, your income stops being linear. It becomes scalable. If this is changing how you think about earning money, take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and comment what you believe is currently limiting your income the most: time, skill, or opportunity. That reflection matters. Hard work builds income, but strategy multiplies it. And once you start thinking strategically, you stop chasing every opportunity and start building the ones that actually move your life forward. Most people hear the phrase high-income skills and think it means something complicated, technical, or out of reach. But in reality, high-income skills are not about difficulty. They are about impact. They are the skills that directly influence money, decisions, and outcomes in the real world. The truth is, the market does not pay you for effort. It pays you for results. And high-income skills are simply the abilities that produce measurable results faster, better, or more effectively than average. There's a story of a young man who started in a basic customer support role. His job was simple: Answer queries, solve issues, follow scripts. Nothing special, but he started paying attention to patterns. Why do customers complain? What makes them trust a brand? What causes them to leave? Over time, he learned something valuable. Communication is not just talking, it is persuasion. He began improving how he responded, how he handled objections, how he guided conversations. Without realizing it, he was developing a sales mindset inside a support job. A year later, he transitioned into sales. At first, it felt uncomfortable. Rejection, pressure, targets. But he applied the same understanding of human behavior. Within months, he became one of the top performers. Not because he worked harder than everyone else, but because he understood people better. That is what high-income skills really are. Communication, sales, marketing, negotiation, problem-solving, digital creation, and decision-making. These are not just job titles. They are value engines. And the powerful part is this: these skills compound. The more you use them, the more valuable you become. Unlike jobs that pay a fixed amount, skills increase your ceiling over time. If this is making you rethink your direction, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and comment which skill you believe could change your financial path the most. That reflection is where clarity begins. Your income is not capped by your job. It is capped by the value of your skills in the market. And once you start building skills that solve real problems, money stops being something you chase and starts becoming something that responds to you. Most people think financial freedom comes from working harder, saving more, or finding the right opportunity. But the real shift happens when you stop relying on motivation, luck, or emotional decisions, and start building systems that make wealth inevitable. Motivation is unreliable. It changes with mood, stress, and environment. Luck is temporary, and effort without structure eventually burns you out. That is why so many people work for years but never truly move forward. They're dependent on discipline in moments where systems should be doing the work. Wealthy people think differently. They don't ask, "How do I stay motivated?" They ask, "How do I design this so it works even when I'm not motivated?" That is the difference between surviving financially and building wealth structurally. There is a story of an investor who started with a simple salary job. He wasn't exceptional at first, but he made one important shift early on. Instead of trying to make random financial decisions every month, he created automatic rules. A percentage of income always went into investment. Another portion went into learning. Another stayed for living expenses. No debate. No emotional negotiation. At first, it felt restrictive, but over time, it became powerful. Because while others were deciding what to do with money each month, his system was already doing it for him. Years later, when people around him were still trying to get serious about saving, he already had a growing portfolio and financial buffer built quietly in the background. That is what a wealth system does. It removes emotion from execution. It replaces chaos with consistency. And consistency, over time, becomes compounding. If this is making you question how much of your financial life is system-driven versus emotion-driven, take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and comment whether you currently have a system or if you're still relying on willpower. That awareness alone can shift your trajectory. Motivation builds intentions, but systems build wealth. And once you move from emotional money decisions to structured financial behavior, you stop hoping for progress and start engineering it.